Vic, are you ready? Ready? Let's roll. Let's roll, nerds.
This one, Judge.
Okay.
Page 5.
So
Galindo, Hunter, and Robinson, come on up.
Jordan Gallindo, Hunter, and Robinson.
Yeah.
It's
Gentlemen, do me a favor, step all the way forward to me.
who's Mr. Gallindo? That's you. Each of you speak English.
Yes, sir.
Are you Mr. Hunter? Mr. Hunter?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Robinson? All right, all of you guys are charged with evading arrest or detention. Each of you are facing a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, gentlemen.
Yes, Judge. The officer observed a stolen vehicle and followed it to a parking lot where it came to a stop. Then the officer in a fully marked patrol vehicle and in uniform ordered the occupants to put their hands out of the window before approaching. The vehicle immediately took off at a high rate of speed, and the officer pursued with lights and sirens activated for approximately 0.5 miles through a shopping center, nearly hitting other people in cars. The driver then lost control and ran into a pole. All occupants then jumped out of the vehicle and took off. The officer located the defendant 1, Galindo, running away from the crash site, who stated he was a passenger in the vehicle. The officers were able to locate the second defendant, third defendant, and fourth defendant hiding in a house approximately 400 feet from the crash site.
Where's the fourth?
So the fourth is the juvenile, and he was the driver of the vehicle.
Who is the driver?
It's a juvenile defendant.
Juvenile was the driver.
Yes, Your Honor.
So
Yes, and then defendant 1 is Hunter, and he's the one that identified that the juvenile was the driver, as well as he identified the 3 other defendants that were in the vehicle as well.
do they know that the car was stolen?
They ran the license plate and it came back stolen, Your Honor.
I know that. How do they know the car's stolen?
Well, Your Honor, they don't necessarily need to know. They're charged with the evading. The officers were performing the investigation on the stolen vehicle, and they fled the vehicle. Once they crashed the vehicle, they all fled. That's what they're being charged with, Your Honor, is once the officer ran the license plate, the vehicle crashed and they all scattered. They were attempting to perform a traffic stop on the vehicle once they came back stolen.
All right. Okay. Gentlemen, I'm going to find there's probable cause to go forward on each of your cases. How old are you? How old are you?
19.
How old are you?
18.
How old are you?
18.
What are you gentlemen doing with yourselves these days?
School. I'm trying to find a job, sir.
Okay. I'm going to tell you now, life is extremely difficult. Life is difficult for a person of color, even more so. When you start racking up convictions, when you start racking up criminal cases, all you're doing is you're making life more difficult. Life does not get easier the older you get. It gets more difficult. You lose hair, you get bigger, you get fatter, you get uglier. Life doesn't get easier. And if you don't have an education, if you don't have a good job, you're going to end up with a perpetual number on your back. Knowledge is power. Convictions, it's not the way to go. And I'm going to tell you now, I'm going to make sure that you guys are going to straighten up and fly right with me. And if I don't, I will put you over my knee like a little child, and I'm going to spank you like a little child, but I'll do it with a ton of jail time. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
As of today, I'm sending you each for a drug test because I want to know what you're going to test positive for. And I'm going to tell you now, no smoking marijuana, no using illegal drugs, no using alcohol. And if I find that you violate this, into jail you go, and you will not get any more PR bonds. Do each of you understand?
Yes, sir.
Did you graduate from high school, Mr. Galindo?
Sir.
We are going to work on that with you now. You cannot go through life without, at a minimum, a high school education. You start toying with me, you start playing with me, you will be getting that education with me in there, and it's not going to go well. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Did you graduate from high school? We will work on that as well. Did you graduate from high school? You guys are ending up nowhere fast. I also am ordering you not to hang out with the juvenile in this case as well. I don't want you hanging out with each other because it may seem that each of you are a bad influence on each other. Not anymore. Do you understand? What we're going to do is are any parents here today? Coming up, guys. If you don't mind standing with.
Gentlemen, you have to real quick, step to the side this way a little bit. So that way I can be in.
Thank you each for coming. I really appreciate that you guys are here. I will do everything in my power to keep the cost as low as possible for you. I will give each of your sons a lawyer today. I'm going to drug test them because I want to make sure that they're going to be clean. If they test positive for anything, I'm going to give them a pass today. But I'm saying, and I'm going to give them another drug test. If they test positive for marijuana, they will be drug tested again in about 45 days because that should be enough time for them to stop and flush it out of the system. If they test positive, that tells me that they've continued to smoke, and I'm going to light them up. The next thing I'm going to do is I want them to get in school so that they get their high school diploma. You're 19, you should be getting at a minimum a high school diploma because you will make pennies to the dollar. For everyone else that's making $1, you will make 10 cents without a minimum, a high school diploma. And if you don't, and if you toy with me, likewise, I'm just going to lock you up. Do each of you understand?
Yes, sir.
So what we'll do is what we normally do here is we set the cases around 2 to 2.5 weeks to give them time to start researching, getting into a GED program or getting back into high school.
Yes,
Okay.
6 months left.
Okay, you're in high school now, or where are you at?
He's in high school.
You're a senior.
Mhm.
Great. So you're in high school now, a senior. Fantastic. It is a part of your bond condition that you stay in school. I'm also giving you a curfew. What time did this happen? I'm going to give you a curfew. Nothing good happens at 1 a.m. You are not allowed to go out, and I'm going to put a monitor on your ankle so I know where you are at all times. Do you understand?
Your Honor, this occurred at 10 p.m.
Okay, 9 p.m. is your curfew. Unless, moms, you tell me something that you want differently,
You got
I'm
it.
all with you. I will
got
do
it.
whatever you want. I'm going to waive fees for everything so that nothing's going to come out of your pocket, okay? Like I said, I'll give them lawyers now. I'm going to send them off for a drug test now. We'll have them come back. We'll find out what the results are. I'll let you know and we'll go from there. Okay? So if you can appoint all of them lawyers now, we'll just have them take a seat. Felicia, if you don't mind sending them, when we get back, we'll. What about, ma'am, is he in high school now? And senior as well?
Yep.
Or where?
In OAC right now.
Is he actively enrolled?
Yes, he is.
Are you actively going?
I'm actively enrolled in my home school.
In getting your high school diploma? I want proof. I'm not going to take your word for it. You understand? Okay, all right. Hang tight for me.
Judge, same conditions for each?
All of them.
All right, go ahead and send. All right, Judge, next
Is drone right? Or is it with, is it a Jerome? Do you know? On Hunter? I've never seen it spelled like that. That's why. I guess we'll check later.
okay, let's see, this is bar.
Yeah. I'll ask later. Yeah.
All right, page 8. Juarez, come on up. And you're There's also a codefendant on that one. Page 10, Lopez Rubio, but he's running.
So what is his name?
This one is Juarez on page 8.
Morning, Your Honor. I represent Mr. Juarez.
Your timing is impeccable.
I heard you. I heard it. I
Juan,
heard-
great to see you, man. What's new?
Not too much. Just trying to get to the new year without getting myself into trouble.
Impossible.
All right.
Mr. Juarez, as you can see, your lawyer is here with you now. You are charged with unlawful carrying of a weapon. You are facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
Yes, Judge. The officer initiated a traffic stop after observing the defendant fail to signal, following too closely, have no front license plate, and failing to stop at a designated stopping point at the intersection. As the officer approached the vehicle, he observed a strong odor of marijuana, and the officer asked the driver, the defendant, and the passenger to step out of the vehicle. A PC search was conducted, and the officer located 2 clear baggies of green leafy substance, as well as 2 handguns, one under the front driver's seat where the defendant was sitting, and one under the front passenger seat.
Mr. Juarez, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. How old are you, sir? Okay. No more smoking weed. I'm going to test you. No more using illegal drugs. No more using alcohol. If I find that you are, I'm going to lock you up. Do you understand? What are you doing with yourself these days?
And I graduated.
You graduated from high school?
Yes, sir.
Great job. Good. That's the first step. So where are you going now?
Just getting a better job or keep working with my dad.
Okay. No more weapons.
Yes, sir.
Do you have a valid, or let me see, does he have?
Eligible, Your Honor.
All right. You can drive as long as you have a license and you need car insurance. If you don't have car insurance, it's a condition of your bond as well. If I find that you drive without car insurance, it's not going to go well for you. No weapons and no dope. Do you understand?
Sure.
Okay. Now you have a lawyer. Because you have a lawyer, I will waive your appearance, but it's your responsibility to stay in touch with Mr. Guerra, and he'll tell you when you've got to come back to court. If he tells me he can't get a hold of you because you're playing games, I will issue a warrant for your arrest. You pick up a new case, likewise, I'm going to put you in jail. I'm going to keep my community safe. You understand?
Yes, sir.
All right. I'm going to have you sign a reset with Victoria. We'll have you sign your condition with Fleischer, and then you're free to go.
Yes, sir.
All right, man. Come on. Let me get you a date, Juan.
Yes, sir.
Judge, how is March 4th through the 6th?
No problem.
March 4th through the 6th. What day you want?
Whatever. Let's just do the 5th.
Okay, it's yours.
Thank you, Judge. Good seeing you.
And have fun. Have a great new year.
All right, Judge, next is page 15. Resendez, come on up.
You speak English, sir.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Resendez, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
On October 8th, 2023, officers were dispatched to a crash located at the 9500 block of West St. Houston Parkway. Upon arrival, the officers observed the defendant's truck stopped in a moving lane of traffic with a flat tire and fender damage. The defendant was standing outside the vehicle, but admitted to drinking and driving that evening. The officer observed the defendant to have bloodshot eyes, glossy eyes, and a moderate odor of an alcoholic beverage. Standard field sobriety tests were administered, HGN 6 out of 6, walk and turn 2 out of 8, one leg stand 0 out of 4. The defendant consented to giving a breath sample, and the results were 0.074 and 0.073.
Mr. Resendez, I'm going to find one. It's already been found before probable cause. I'm awarding you as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, or unprescribed controlled medication. Your case is 450 days old. If you take off on me again, I'm going to make your bond so high, your head is going to be spinning. Do you understand?
Okay.
Does he have a valid Texas driver license? Can you check?
All right, Your Honor.
If you do not have a Texas driver license, you are not allowed to drive. I'm making that a condition of your bond as well. Do you understand? All right, we are going to reset your case to give you time to hire a lawyer, but that's it. the next time you come here, it's get ready because I'm going to set your case for trial because your case is nearly,
It does work, Your Honor.
all right. You sure?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. As long, and you cannot drive unless you have liability insurance in your name as well. Do you understand? All right, I'm going to have you meet, we'll have you sign a receipt with Victoria. We'll have you get with Fleischer for your bond conditions, then you're free to go.
Judge, that was the last one for now.
Great, okay. Hey, Roger, come on.
May I approach on the one we wrote from yesterday, Gonzalez Hernandez?
Sure. What are
So
we
this
doing?
one, we just ran out of time. So Vito wants him to enroll in pre-treatment. I was right. My gut feeling was right. He wants him to enroll in some sort of treatment. I am going to recommend him to enroll either way, but I don't know what the new administration is going to do on PTI. So if you want, we could bring him back.
Did you say is good?
Gonzalez Hernandez?
It's already 200 days old, man.
We could reset. I don't
Did
know.
he say what kind of treatment he wants prior to
The
acceptance?
SOP, because that's what we've done in a
All
client.
that.
This is the one with the high BEC, Your Honor, to be fair to him. Without going into the merits of the case,
I get it.
I think the state has a good case for trial. So I do believe our client's gonna probably plead versus trial. So do you want me to bring him in a week or so, or?
Oh, he doesn't want to do the IOP SOP?
The problem is that I don't know what's gonna happen with the new administration, so I could definitely tell him to enroll. It's just a little expensive. So if he's gonna be on a.
No, you're right. They may not even, right.
Yeah, 'cause I
So
don't know
let's do
what
that.
parameters
Yeah,
are.
let's set it for a week. Set it for a week.
That works.
When then they come back in with the new administration, reapproach because they may have different parameters as far as entry.
And
They
we
may
do
not
have a
even.
program that's slightly affordable, but it's still pretty expensive. So
Because of the high BAC, I don't know if the new one is just gonna, let them in. So let's set it a week. When we come back in a week, approach, see if they're good with it. If so, what we'll do is do the IOP SOP. We'll set him off for another week to make sure that he's enrolled in IOP, and then we'll set it probably, because that's, how long is the IOP? Is it 90?
it's 45 to 90 days, depending on the intensity that he enrolls in.
So we'll do 30-day settings to make sure that he's in it, doing well, and then until he does it. All right, so a week, yeah. And then, Roger, I'll waive it so he doesn't have to just come here for,
Okay.
No
worries, and I'll give him a call and tell him about options.
okay.
Judge Brandy from Codefendant sign the transfer. It's in there, yes.
Mr. Hunter, you should not be discussing anything with them. You were told to stay away from them. That's why I don't have y'all sitting next to each other.
Mr. Eli picked up a new case. Yeah. Hey, Alex. Hold on, I'm gonna put you on speakerphone real quick. Okay?
Okay,
Hold on.
okay.
I got Shrey on the phone. He picked up another DWI.
Okay,
They filed this one as a felony though. So he picked up a felony third.
okay, right.
I'm not letting him go, Shreya.
I understand, Judge.
We'll file a motion. We'll track with the felony.
Okay,
And, I mean,
I understand.
I don't even know why. I mean, when we do these TRASs, I should just follow the TRASs, and we get burned on these so much, and I get it that. What happened on the new one, Alex, if you don't mind?
So on the new one, there was officer dispatched to a convenience store in regard to a shooting in progress.
What?
And they.
No, that was the old one.
The old one? Oh, I apologize.
I was gonna say, the exact
So this
same
one-
facts.
No, so this one, there was a major accident. They were dispatched to a major accident and they described that took place at the Veterans Hospital and the west intersection. And the first witness they found was positioned in lane 1.
Please tell me there are no injuries.
Okay, yeah, you go ahead.
So basically, he was speeding and he ran a red light and he slammed on his brakes at the last second. The car slid into the first car, which in turn hit another car. So it's a 3-car accident. I know that the person, I think it was the person who was driving the first car that was hit, she was transported to the hospital. He got out of the car. The officer said he was like breaking out, like pacing back and forth a lot and making really like furtive movements. I think he was like rolling his head around, and he believed that he was like under the influence of drugs, likely. Maybe that's obviously just the officer's words.
Do they do a DRE?
I'm not sure about that, Judge. We don't have an offense report or anything. This is just based on the DIMS that are this morning. Anyway, so the defendant was also transported to the hospital, and they got a search warrant for the blood, and they did a blood draw at the hospital. So, and I think the other driver was also, well, I know the other driver was also transported to the hospital. I don't think the third one was.
What did the TRAS recommended safe be? Saturn. God dog it. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm gonna hold it. I'm not letting him
Okay.
go, and that's the goal.
He's at like a $75,000 bond for right now.
Have we filed a motion already or no?
I did it this morning.
Okay. All right, Shreya, so I guess
Okay.
felony is
Yeah,
set.
I'll keep an eye out for it.
Yeah, felony is set for the 6th, so next Monday. You're gonna be back next week?
Yes, I will. I'll
Okay,
be
so are you okay if we put on Tuesday?
back. Yes, Tuesday's fine.
Yeah, okay, thanks.
Okay,
right.
thanks, Judge.
Bye, Shreya.
Bye.
Okay, Judge, we have an arraignment. Are you ready?
Yeah.
All right, page 10, Lopez Rubio, come on up.
This is the codefendant?
Yes,
Okay. Mr. Lopez Rubio, I have found probable cause to go forward in your case. How old are you, sir?
17.
I'm ordering you as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol or illegal drugs and not to be in possession of weapons. Do you understand? Do you have a lawyer with you today? Did you want to apply for an appointed lawyer?
Oh, yes, sir.
I'm gonna provide you with a lawyer today, but I'm sending you for a drug test. I want to know what, if anything, is in your system. You're not allowed to smoke weed. You're not allowed to use alcohol. If you do not have a Texas driver license and liability insurance in your name, you are not allowed to drive. Do you understand? Can you run his license? Okay. Just hang tight with me and then we'll get you with your bond conditions and then your lawyer.
Go ahead and sign for your recess.
Mr. Lopez Rubio, come back up here. I forgot to ask you. What are you doing with yourself these days? Are you in school? Are you working? What are you doing? Did you graduate? Are you in high school now?
Sir.
Okay, I'm making it also a condition of your bond that you stay enrolled in school full time. Do you understand? Okay, all right. Yeah.
You have a very important call.
Yeah, our judge will usually give them a. So they have your day, and then you should be like the next day.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll talk to James about it when he gets here.
Okay.
But to me, like.
We sound like, oh, okay, crap. Okay. Can you ask Stephen to put him in the jury box, please? So we don't lose him. Thanks. Hi.
Hi, can we approach Judge? I'm approaching on Quinn, QUIN. He's on bond today. He has a BDR.
Will it show anything? Okay. Well, that's-
So he has a 10 o'clock curfew. The big issue is that he works, and I have his time sheet. Not as smooth as I thought. Where he clocks out.
Yeah, oh, yeah. these are all pretty-
And he just, the distance and, he just can't get home. Like he works.
Where's he working?
So we could extend.
Okay, we do 10:30?
I think that's.
Okay, is he here? Where-
Do you want me to call him up? You want me to speak?
Mr. Quinn, come on up.
He's doing what you asked, Judge. He's got a job. He just.
So you're working?
Yes, sir.
Hey, good job. You know, I'm happy that you're working. Do you need more time to be able to get home? What's a good time? Like how long does it take you to get home from?
It takes me like at least like 25 to 30 minutes.
Is that right, Anna? Is it that far? How do you get home?
Normally I walk or I Uber home.
Okay. You want to do 10:30, 10:45? The 10:45 is the latest.
Okay.
Okay. And what days do you work?
I work, it depends. Cause now it was that during that time it was seasonal.
But now you're on full time?
No, I'm on full time, but now they're cutting the hours to like 8 or 9 hours. So it'd be like eight hours a week or so.
But it's not consistent where you work Monday and Wednesday.
No,
Why don't you look for something more steady, give you more hours?
And you're in school, right?
Yes.
He's in school.
Oh, okay, all right, okay, let's do that.
Okay.
We'll give you the 12:45, okay?
Okay.
All right,
but I thought I was supposed to be off by next time I come.
Be off what?
The ankle monitor.
So he's gonna have to see that you're.
I want to see that you're still doing well after a while, and then when you are, then we'll do it.
Okay.
All right, man,
Judge,
All
could
right.
you repeat that curfew for me?
10:45,
10:45 to 6?
yes. Okay, thanks, Anna.
Can we be seated?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Carl,
Hello, Judge.
hey, how are you? Good morning.
Remember Christopher Gomez? He had a marijuana case, and then he got another marijuana case, and he got a case pending. But, I think you revoked.
Is he back there?
Got a new case, the bond is set at $8,500. And he has the case that he had before on December 10th, that you revoked and made 10,003.
So felony is set for Thursday?
Friday. That's because the attorney they assigned to him is out of town.
You want to,
We're gonna kick it, but I was inquiring about whether or not you would be inclined to reduce the bonds down to a lesser amount.
well, he made bond on the
40,000.
first case. Let's do this. He still hasn't made the $40,000 bond upstairs.
True.
If he does, come back and we'll talk.
Okay.
Okay?
I'm-
He's now working 3 open cases. I don't know how.
You don't want to do anything to find out what they're doing in felony court? Okay, cool.
Okay.
Just want to visit with you before I did that. Okay, thank you, Judge.
For sure. Counselor, coming up. Hi, good morning.
Hi, you're a Noah Montgomery judge. You'd asked him to come back to have another drug test. He
Okay.
passed it This morning, it was negative.
Wonderful. All right, we'll give you a reset.
Bring him up.
Nope.
Okay.
Just tell him to keep up the good work.
Yes, sir. Thank you,
Okay,
Judge.
of course. Hi,
Morning, Judge.
good morning.
I'm actually coming from court 6. I had approached you on this matter.
What's your cause number?
It's gonna be, here, I'll give it to you.
And do you have a court 6 prosecutor?
They emailed the prosecutors here in court. It-
Okay, so they're,
Yeah, they're on the same page. It's 2544125 Jenny Cardona. She does not speak English, Your Honor, but we had already addressed everything with her. We were just trying to confirm if the CW lived in her current apartment.
Okay.
They confirmed that she doesn't, so we'd like to
You want to amend
request,
them back to that?
yeah,
Okay.
so she can go back home. She's got 2 little girls.
State?
Yes, that's correct. So according to our RIP, yeah, she no longer lives there, so we're fine with amending that, yes.
So here, let me see, I can. I printed out your copy. It should pop up over there by Victoria. If you want to bring it, I'll cross it out and send it. Hey, Rosette, did we talk about this motion for continuance on Silas? Did we talk about this motion for continuance on Silas?
Alex? So our complainant, they're like on parole.
Our complainant currently is in custody in the
Yes,
Harris County
that's-
Jail because of a motion to revoke his parole out of the Board of Parole. So we're unable to get a hold of him at this time.
Yes, they're not available to testify, Judge.
You know, the case jacket.
Let me get Sonia here and then we'll.
Okay.
No, yeah, you're good.
Crap, I messed it up. Because all I need to do is just cross off the address and I crossed off the whole thing. And it's, so yeah, give me a second. I've printed it out again now. I mean, I don't know if I'm gonna grant it, you know, because if you're not gonna be able to get it, why kick it down the road?
Well, Judge, I don't know how long he'll be in custody for.
A long time. Okay. There's also a Spanish part to the Spanish part too, right? No, it didn't come out. Is there more that came out?
That was the only thing that came
I'll
out.
write out a paper.
Oh, okay.
Is she Spanish?
Either way, we'll understand, Judge. It's up to your discretion. We can, I mean, we'll
Hey,
read.
let me call Sonia real quick.
Council, here's the rest of your wallet.
You printed it already.
All right. So the only thing I'm changing is I'm taking off that address. That's it.
Correct.
So please let her know everything in the motion still stays. The only thing she can do, she can go back to that
And
address.
if you believe there was no conditions of bond imposed from what we spoke about, that it was gonna be the more, because it was gonna be like the basic conditions, but I.
Did you, hold on.
Oh, they are.
Hold on, yeah, look,
Did she sign it?
she did.
Okay, great, great.
These are, you want me to print this out for you?
Don't prevent her from going back to work.
It says say.
It does say it.
Okay, we need that.
I can amend that though. I can print it out. I'll print this out and then I'll,
Signature, yeah.
yeah.
She's here.
Oh, it's perfect.
She's here.
I refiled it. So I refiled it. It's on, it should be here.
So it says, look, it says, but this is different. You may need to talk to your prosecutor because it says she cannot have any contact with Ms. Serrano or any member of their family or household. So
I don't think she first had.
if any member of the family or household of that,
because, the lady, Mrs. Arnold, was just renting a room from her apartment and she left.
She's supposed to surrender her passport. It says defendant is to surrender her passport for temporary deposit with the treasurer or registry of the court.
Would you be okay when she surrendered her?
Discovery.
I can have Mario send you the email.
I don't know. Hey, I need a court 6 prosecutor. Do you mind? Whoever emailed you there,
I can email them and let them know.
please, yeah. I don't know.
I'm gonna ask her to see if she has another form of registration.
Glad we're going over this, huh? I'm glad we're going over this.
I know.
I just emailed them. Yeah.
Coming up.
Yes, good morning, Judge. How are you?
How are you? What's going on?
Judge, I'm here on docket for Mr. Nathan Rhea, Judge. I'm seeing if you'll revisit probable cause in this case.
You said Rhea?
Yes, sir. RHEA, Judge.
Okay. It's on docket today?
Yes, Judge, is my understanding.
Maybe jail docket. I see, yeah, it's jail docket.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
All right, ready?
Yes, Judge.
Go for it.
So on December 29th, 2024, the officer observed the defendant's vehicle traveling 91 miles per hour in a 50-mile-per-hour zone. A traffic stop was initiated, and the officer observed the driver leaning over the console, trying to conceal something next to the console in the front passenger seat. The driver and the passenger did not see the officer as he was standing near the driver window, where the officer observed the driver have his hand between the front seat and the center console. The officer ordered the occupants out of the vehicle and observed a plastic bag containing a green leafy substance with an odor of marijuana as the front passenger exited. And the front passenger immediately took off running, and the defendant, the driver of the vehicle, stated he only knew the passenger to be named Junior. The weight of the marijuana was 0.3915 ounces.
Judge, looking at the totality of the circumstances, the state has not been able to allege enough probable cause that my client knew or intended that there was marijuana in his possession. I understand that the allegations say that there was some type of furtive movement, but my client yielded to law enforcement show of authority and then gave law enforcement his identification. The passenger ends up leaving law enforcement. He stays there. And again, there's not enough to establish that he knew or intended that there was weed in his car. The allegations also don't, pinpoint where the marijuana actually was. So this was unbeknownst to my client, Judge.
So he comes up, officer comes up with the car, and he sees him trying to conceal.
Yes.
Right?
I don't think that, I believe the allegations say that that's what the officer maybe seems to believe, but after further review, there's nothing that says that's definitive or that's even probable cause. For all we know, he was rummaging around to give him his ID, which he did. That's why he got picked up.
No, but he says he's got a plastic bag and he's trying to put a plastic bag behind the console.
Because, Your Honor, they found his hand between the front seat and the center console. They observed his hand in between the console.
There was a plastic bag too?
It says that they observed a plastic bag containing the green leafy substance. Yes, Your Honor. And that was after the passenger exited. So when they walked up, they saw him with his hand in between the console and the front seat where they observed him trying to conceal something.
So, Judge, in the DIMS, it says, quote, as the front seat passenger exited the vehicle with his hands up, I saw a plastic bag containing a green leafy substance. The way I'm reading that, Judge, is that's more attributable to the passenger and the alleged marijuana that was near his person than it was my client. Again, the rummaging around, Judge, I don't think there's enough of a nexus to establish that. My client yielded to law enforcement show of authority. He gave law enforcement his ID. While he's standing there submitting to law enforcement show of authority, the guy with his hands up with the marijuana that's around him leaves. So if anything, this should be attributable to the passenger.
Saying that the weed is the passenger's client, not your client. That's what you're saying.
Yes, and based on the allegations, Judge, there's not enough probable cause that attributes my client knew or intended that marijuana was in his possession when everything just as much points to someone who ran
So-
away from the cops.
Read the Dims again, and then who is the one who's allegedly hiding things? Is it?
It's the driver, Your Honor, which is the defendant. The officer said the officer observed the driver have his hand between the front seat and the center console, and previously.
Okay, wait, so between the front seat
in the center console, and the officer said, I observed the driver leaning over the console trying to conceal something next to the console and front seat passenger. And that's where he observed his hand in the front seat, between the front seat passenger and the console. So the officer observed him trying to conceal something. And all the DIM says in regard to the passenger and the marijuana is that as the front seat passenger exited the vehicle with his hands up, I saw a plastic bag containing a green leafy substance smelling of marijuana. It doesn't say anything in regard to it being solely in the passenger's area, because it said previously he was trying to conceal something.
Again, so my apologies, Counsel. Judge, if I may.
he's actively trying to conceal a plastic bag?
Your Honor, so with this situation, when we were briefly speaking, allegedly this driver and passenger don't know each other, but then in this situation, should this person, the defendant, be pulled over for speeding, one would think he'd keep his hands 10 and 2 and not be trying to conceal something, so that's where we're at. And if you didn't know that didn't know the passenger, didn't know that they had the marijuana, didn't know anything about the marijuana, why are you concealing? Why aren't you keeping your hands at 10 and 2?
Judge, anytime somebody's driving, again, I think there's a reasonable inference that goes just as much to my client was trying to go through his belongings, give law enforcement the correct identification so that he could submit to law enforcement show of authority. Again, just because it says concealed doesn't mean that there's enough allegations that actually substantiate that anything was concealed. If anything.
No, but is that enough for him to continue and to investigate further? Right, his allegation is, I come up to the car and I actively see someone trying to conceal something. So at that point, I'm going to investigate further.
My issue is not, law enforcement had the right to further investigate the case. We understand that my client was speeding, Judge. My issue though, is that they're saying that the front seat passenger is getting out of the vehicle and then he sees weed as the front seat passenger gets out. My client is already.
So who, do they both have weed? Is that what happened here? Do they both end up with?
My understanding, Judge, is that there's enough probable cause that actually goes toward the passenger being in possession of the weed.
Did they find weed where he was trying to conceal whatever he was trying to allegedly conceal?
The allegations are not clear about that, Judge, which is why.
Admittedly, they are not clear about that because all it says is that as the front seat passenger exited, they observed the plastic bags. But for previously, they did say.
Where?
It does not say, Your Honor.
That sucks. Then write a better report.
It does, but they did say it's not concealing something.
I need to know, where is the weed in the front seat passenger?
All right, there are enough affirmative links still because he's the operator of the vehicle and is within his wingspan, and they saw the previous furtive movements being made to draw the inference of knowledge. So there's enough affirmative links between him and the contraband for probable cause.
I don't work on hunches.
It's not a hunches
here. I mean, it's not that hard to write in the report. Well, I saw weed where I found his furtive movements. You know?
Yes, Your Honor, they didn't clarify that, but they did.
Then too bad, so sad. Sorry.
I will say, Your Honor, this did just happen 2 days ago. If we could wait to get the offense report, maybe he articulated it
No,
more.
I mean, he's in custody. I don't want to wait 2 days because he's in custody. If he was on bond, perhaps, but he's in custody. He's in jail, just sitting there, I'm with you. Okay.
Thank you, Judge Fleischer.
Yeah. I mean, Alex, I'm not asking for much, just a little clarity. That's it, and I bet you now, hopefully never make that mistake again. Eric.
Yes, Judge.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, sorry.
I'm here with Cortex Prosecutor on Ms. Cardona.
Hi,
Judge.
Thank you so much for coming.
Yes, thank you.
So here's the deal. There's a lot more here than meets the eye. I don't know if you've really gone through this here. So one of the things it says is that Defendant is to surrender her passport for temporary deposit with the treasurer or registry of the court. So this is one of the magistrate conditions that she put, or he put on the defendant. And what she's asking for is if they could give the passport to hold with the office. And I don't know what your position is on that.
Our position is that's up to the court.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess what I would ask for is if you send myself and an email to council saying that, okay, we've gotten it, we will hold it, you know, in our office until I guess the case is over with.
Yeah, I can
Right.
send, I asked to see if she had a passport. She does have an alternative identification, which is great. She has
You're an
a,
officer of the court. I trust you. I
Correct.
know you,
No.
so I hope
Yes.
that you will.
no, we will. And Mario and I will make sure to scan it.
I trust Mario too. I like.
And send a picture over to you all and with an email detailing. However, I don't know, do you want her to go get her passport and bring it to us today? Because she doesn't have it with her.
Yeah, of course. I mean, it's not, it doesn't have to be done immediately, but you know, by the end of today.
Yeah, that's
Right.
fine.
The other thing is this, it says defendant will self-initiate with pretrial services on the first business day of each week to determine the defendant's case status on the docket and to determine whether defendant's presence is mandatory for the court that week, or will provide pretrial services with a working phone number where defendant is able to receive automated messages from the court regarding defendant's cases. Defendant will also provide a working email address to pretrial services for the defense or for someone close to defendant who frequently checks their email and will be a good point of contact for the defendant.
So I could provide her number for her to get
I mean, I think it's-
automated messages.
I think that's a bit onerous, you know?
Yeah, I mean, she's gonna be in contact with our
Right,
office. and-
I'm gonna take that off. I think that's a bit onerous,
That's pretty
just
much all of the magistrate conditions, they come like that.
like, every Monday, they gotta check in there. I mean, really.
Yeah, that's, yeah.
Just have your client stay in contact. That's-
Yeah, that's not gonna be a problem, Judge.
Okay,
And then just amend the 200 feet restriction on the conditions.
what?
The 200 feet restriction on the conditions were already amended as.
Yes, yeah, yeah.
And then
I
I'll
just-
send over an email to you and you with passport
great.
in hand at the
Okay.
office.
Yeah,
Thank you.
thank you, Chair.
Sure. Okay, Eric, you ready?
Morning, Judge.
Thanks for being patient.
Got a plea on David Thompson. How are you, Judge?
Okay, pretty good. Let's do it.
Good, glad to hear.
Thompson?
Yes, sir. David
Okay.
Thompson, Judge.
Thompson, come up. Okay, I'll go after.
Order in the court for a plea.
Good morning, Mr. Thompson.
Good morning.
Sir, you're charged with driving while intoxicated, second offense. This is a Class A misdemeanor. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. It looks like it's being reduced to a first,
It is, Judge.
right? So now you're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. But what you need to understand still in the eyes of the law, this is number 2. And if you pick up another one, you'll be facing a third, and a third, you're facing up to 2 years in prison, up to 10 years in prison, minimum of 2, maximum of 10. If I were you, even if you've had a freaking sip of alcohol, I wouldn't get into a car because you're taking a humongous risk. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
All officers look, if you smell funky and then they look at your record, that's all they care about. You give up a lot of rights by entering this agreement. You give up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on your behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization under federal law. You give up the right to appeal. Once you plead guilty, it will go on your record. You can never take it off. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
This is what you want to do.
Yes, Your Honor.
For you to complete this, you're entering into a probation with us. It's going to go on your record. This is a straight probation. And for you to complete it successfully, you must do a repeat offender DWI education class. 2 victim impact panels, a TRAS, which is an evaluation to see what other conditions you may need. If they assess further conditions, they might. It could be intensive outpatient treatment. It could be supportive outpatient treatment. If they assess further conditions, you must fulfill those conditions. No breath test refusal. So if you were pulled over in a car and you take a breath, and the officer asks you to take a breath test, you have to do it. If you don't, you're in violation of the probation. Substance abuse treatment, $100 one-time donation to MAD, no drugs, no alcohol, and a guardian interlock. Is this how you understand the agreement?
Yes, sir.
How do you plead to the offense of driving while intoxicated, guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
I will find you guilty. I will send it you to the agreement. What do you do in life, Mr. Thompson?
Bartending at a hotel.
Ugh, that's not good.
Judge, he's been on interlock for almost a year now. Portable device, blown 3 times a day. He hasn't had one failed test. He has, yeah, so he's been doing very well.
My only issue is that temptation is so high when you work in that kind of environment. You know, when you work in the restaurant industry, everyone tends to booze it up. You just got to be very careful, you know? For the next 18 months, you're on paper. You can't do anything. You end up drinking, I'm going to issue a warrant for your arrest. I'm going to put you in jail. I'm going to bring you back out here and we're going to talk. And it's possible I sentence you and put you in jail for 6 months. You understand?
I understand, yes, sir.
But the most important thing is that for the next 50 years of your life, even if you've had a sip of alcohol, I wouldn't get into a car and drive because you're going to get hosed. If you thought it was expensive now, wait till you get to felony court. Everything quadruples in cost, time, everything. So what about the fee?
Fine.
Yeah.
For on probation?
No. There's a supervisory fee for the DPS surcharge. It's a $6,000 fee.
Attached to a probation? I thought that was only for a straight conviction, Judge. On a jail time.
It is a conviction.
On a jail time conviction. The state traffic funds for a jail time conviction.
Show me. But from what I understand, with this kind of case, there's a $6,000 surcharge that we're supposed to tack on.
I
the DPS
was
surcharge.
under the impression that the
Show me otherwise. And I won't.
mandatory license suspension.
What they've told me on convictions here, when you plead to a DWI, there's a surcharge. On a first, it's $3,000. On a 15 with a first, it's $4,500. On a second DWI, it's a $6,000 surcharge.
Technically, because this is charged as a first.
Right. It's no, you're right. It's 3,000. Is this a 15?
Is it a what?
Yeah, it is. Is it true or untrue that you had a 0.15 or above?
Yes, Your Honor.
So true to that enhancement then? Yeah. Okay. So find me that it's not true. Otherwise, I'm, just show me. All right, just take a seat for me. We'll be back.
Looking at that. We'll be right back.
Owen. Hi.
Judge, we have an arraignment from court 6.
Okay.
That we. He's a Spanish speaker and we have an instructor here. The case number is 254 4648.
Por favor, conteste a voz alta.
De La Paz.
Yes, Judge.
Yes.
Mr. De La Paz, you are charged with driving while intoxicated.
I'm so sorry.
Are you ready?
Yes,
Okay.
sorry.
Mr. De La Paz, you are charged with driving while intoxicated. Second offense. You are facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. It's also alleged that you had a breath alcohol of a 0.15 or above.
Sorry, the punto más 5.
Quiet.
We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you.
Yes, Judge. On December 23rd, 2024, the officer observed a stalled vehicle with the defendant behind the wheel asleep at an intersection. The defendant had his foot on the brakes and the vehicle was on and in drive. The officer observed 2 beer bottles in the center console, one half empty.
Drinking
And
while driving.
The officer observed a strong odor of an alcoholic beverage, watery eyes, slurred speech, and swaying. Standard field sobriety tests were conducted. HGN 4 out of 6, one leg stand 2 out of 4, walk and turn 5 out of 8. The DIC was read and the defendant consented to breath. The results were 0.159 and 0.153.
Mr. De La Paz, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. I am now taking away your privilege to drive. You will be signing an affidavit with me today, promising me you're not going to drive. I don't give a rat's behind what your excuse is. If I find that you drive, I can have a contempt hearing. You can be facing an additional 6 months in jail and a $500 fine every time you get into a car and drive. Do you understand? I don't care if you school, groceries, work, kids. I don't care. You drive, you will stay with me, possibly for a very long time. I don't know what your immigration status is, but if you're not in this country with permission and you go to jail and immigration finds you, it's very possible they put an immigration detainer on you and you will be stuck like Chuck in custody until this case is over with, and then you will be shipped off to immigration. Do you understand?
Yes, I understand.
I'm also ordering you as a condition of your bond, not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, or unprescribed controlled medication. I'm going to put a scram ankle monitor on you so I know that you're not consuming alcohol. You consume alcohol, into jail you will go. No more PR bonds for you. We need to do the guardian interlock paperwork. Is there someone here from court 6?
I don't know what their schedule is, but they're pretrial officers to be here.
Is Shelby here? Today?
Caitlin's covering.
Caitlin? Okay.
That's why I asked them if they had stuff.
So Owen.
Judge, their pretrial officer came in and I saw her talking.
Yes, I wrote down the conditions. I'm gonna create documents, send it over to 6 views, and then we'll do everything.
Mr. De La Paz, let me make something abundantly clear to you. I am now entering paperwork and I'm sending this guardian interlock paperwork to Austin, and I'm filing it with the Texas Department of Public Safety. Every single officer in the state will know that you were required and not allowed to drive a vehicle that doesn't have an interlock. If you were caught driving a vehicle, it doesn't have an interlock on it, and you were pulled over, an officer is going to put you in jail. If I find that you drive, and I don't care what your excuse is, in violation of this affidavit, there will be hell to pay. You understand? All right. Okay, Owen. Your money.
Hey, Judge.
Go on up.
Okay, sorry.
Let's do it.
You want to start with Mr. Martinez?
No. Let's
Okay, I gotta
do
show you some stuff.
happy stuff first.
Okay, Jaquan Davis, it's an older case. They shared some stuff with me yesterday. That's just pics. There is an assault case as well. They are still trying to locate the complaining witness. I haven't been on it that long.
Okay. It's nevertheless really, really old. What say you, Morgan? Are you?
Judge, I'm kind of been in contact with Kelsey about this case, just given its age. We were able to get in contact with the complainant on the harassing case, but as for the AFM, we've, tasked our investigator, we've tried TLO numbers. I emailed her and I haven't heard anything back. So I think that we're probably just gonna try to.
I would like to give you a sufficient amount of time because I know it's old and I don't want to take it out on you and I want to give you enough time. But at some point we got to say when.
Yeah, I understand. I just talked to Greg about it a little bit and I think we're just gonna kind of talk to Kelsey, to Chief right now, actually.
What's reasonable, you think, Kelsey, as far as time wise? Giving,
Maybe 2 weeks?
I mean, I was gonna give you a little bit more, but.
Oh, great.
But I mean, like, I want to set like a limit, right? To where, we don't just beat a dead horse. So at some point, if you're not going to find her or him, whoever it is, you're not going to find him. So about 30, and that's it. If it's not found by that time, do your best.
Do you want, can I get his appearance waived or do you want him here in
No,
case we said?
His case is 1,022 days old. He's picked up multiple cases.
For me, it's like,
I'm not waiving his appearance at
for
all.
me, it's like 30 days old.
I got it. And I'm not, but because of him, he's taken off. I'm not going to give him any grades. No. He's going to have to be here. And if he doesn't, then.
Fair enough.
Okay, who's next?
I have another one, Michael Trevor Maines. I'm still waiting on discovery, pretty new. I don't know that I need to ask. Since I'm up here, I'm just telling you. Okay. Then obviously we have Mr. Martinez. I was appointed to 3 new ones. Do you want to go over those? See if we need to do anything.
You need me on those?
I'll come back if I do. Then I just have Martinez.
Okay. Come up, Mr. Martinez.
Page 11.
And it's BVR. I do have some documentation of some stuff and he did contact.
I am so unhappy with you, Mr. Martinez. I don't think I can even freaking see straight. You have a theft of a firearm, a driving while intoxicated, a failure to identify oneself to a peace officer as a fugitive from justice, a theft case, an evading case. And I put strict bond conditions on you, and now you're here with a violation. Enlighten me, Greg.
So if I'm not, I don't have the BVR in front of me.
Let me give it to you. Hold on.
If I'm not mistaken, however, the dates are the 23rd and 26th. Is that correct? Roughly.
I gave him a 9 p.m. to 6 a.m. curfew, and he got home at 10 o'clock on one day. And then another day, he took off as well.
Okay, so it does say here after he did go to the bail bondsman, okay? And he contacted them, let them know. So he was on his way home. So, I mean, are they trying to ding him for a 9:36, 9:48 stop on the way home?
I think that there's plenty of times in the day that you can go visit your bail bondsman. It's not you don't have to go at 10 o'clock at night.
I don't drive. I can't drive. And my wife gets out at 7:30. She picks up the kids, and then I told her to take me, and that's the only time
I've got concrete evidence right here on a GPS monitor.
He's saying his wife drove him to the bail bonds, and then they were on their way home.
Yeah, but I call every time.
And then he didn't take off. It was an issue with his boot, and he did contact them, and they sent him a text to report to 49 San Jacinto to have the device inspected by a technician. And he responded to them and he went in to get it correct. He wasn't trying to cut it off. He wasn't trying to break it.
That's not the issue. The issue is that he's staying out late.
Well, he went to the bail bondsman. He was going home.
He has a curfew of 9 p.m. That's it. I don't care if you're going to visit Jesus. A curfew is a curfew, and you're supposed to stick to the curfew.
When did you get out?
That's it.
It was like 2 weeks ago, baby.
Can you download the rest of the data?
So this is when you got out on mom?
That was the
third dates, man. What time? When did you get out on mom?
Download the rest of the data. I'd like to see what else is going on with him.
For the violation.
It was December 14th.
No, since I guess
on 12/19.
Since December, how's he been? Otherwise, take us.
Where'd you go at that time?
That was the one time that.
Nice. I'm gonna let you.
She gets out at 7:30. That's why.
Yeah, but why'd you go that time?
Greg.
Because that's one
at the line. Can you guys talk about it? Take a seat for me in the jury box.
Okay.
Please. Eric.
Where's your wife?
I looked it up, Judge. You're correct. There's no caveat for probation versus.
So I gotta hit him with a $3,500 fee.
Actually, just to be 100% judge, it has to be 6,000 because it is over a 0.15. In the code actually states.
No, it's 3,500. It is. I'm gonna do the 3,500, okay? We do it through probation, so it'll be like maybe $100 a month.
$100 a month?
Right.
That's doable.
But just tell him he's gotta do it, you know?
Fantastic.
And then hopefully this way, he gets the message.
Absolutely.
Cost you big, don't come back.
I've spoken with him thoroughly about the consequences of getting another, so, I mean, I appreciate it, Judge.
If he's driving?
Yes, he is not driving. He lives very close to where he works, walks or rides a bicycle.
let him know that he cannot drive without a guardian interlock, otherwise he's gonna get hosed as well, okay?
100%.
Okay.
Got you, Judge. Have a happy new year.
Too late, thanks.
The state fine 3,500, then
And
we're
then the
reducing the
court costs.
charge from.
Take the court costs off, we'll just do the 35,
Okay. So
and then you can give him credit. Okay, James. Yeah.
Judge, I'm approaching with Mr. Stradley, who's.
Yes, the extraordinary Mr. Stradley.
Thank you, Judge. Yes, Judge.
Depends on the day.
Who's actually representing the parents of Nicholas Lane. So his competency report came back that he's not competent, but he's not here. He bonded out the 23rd.
I bonded him out, Judge, for the parents on the 23rd.
He's supposed to be here.
He is, and I told him when I went to see him to say, hey, I'm about to bond you out. You realize you have court on the 31st. And he said that he knew, so.
He's not here.
He's not here, so I get it.
What I can do is I can set it for, today's Tuesday. I can set up for bond forfeiture for later this week. He has to be here.
Friday, Judge?
You do Thursday?
I'll be here Thursday, Judge.
I'm gonna set up for bond forfeiture for Thursday. If I can't get him in here, I'm gonna end up revoking his bond.
It's fine, Judge. Do you mind?
But did you sign for the, you know?
Yes, I mean, I posted the bond for the parents. We get it. I mean, it is what it is. You know, if there needs to be an open warrant for him in order to get him in a safe place,
okay,
then so be it.
What we could do is, my only fear, what you said about your rehab facility is that it's not a lockdown facility. So basically he can get up and go. So my trepidation with doing what you want to do is that he can get up and go.
If be able to do a Menninger thing, and I think that is more of a lockdown than.
Then I'm all ears. But otherwise, what I would prefer to have done is TRAS, whatever they say. It may be DDRP, maybe SafeP, SATA. We can put him in there, and he can't get out. He's stuck until he completes the program. But the only issue is that he's got to be competent.
Right.
So what we would do is get him in, stabilize him, have him however, try to get him stabilized.
Right.
Once he's stabilized and good to go, then we put him in.
I
So
think
that's two ways.
On behalf of his parents, they just want him to be safe, you know, and they suspect that he's living hard right now. And so, you know, I understand that the best case scenario is probably a warrant. And the 5,000 is not the ultimate consideration here, Judge. So
I understand.
So, thank
Okay,
you.
so we'll set up a bond forfeiture for Thursday. If he doesn't appear here Thursday, we issue the warrant and we go from there.
Thank you, Judge. And I'll zoom in if it's okay with you.
Absolutely. That's
Thank
why
you,
we
sir.
have it.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay,
Thank you.
thanks, James.
Judge,
Counsel.
I need to clear.
Yes, Judge.
It's on probation, but it was reduced, so they reduced it by abandoning the previous DWI
But they didn't
and
put the enhancement
abandoning
there.
the SF. No, they abandoned both enhancements. So when you pled true to the high base.
We can't do it. We can't do the plea true then. We have to do just a straight, we can't do it true because they didn't plead it as a 0.15 or above.
No, it was, except I'm
Right.
saying, if you
No,
wanted
no,
to
no.
keep it.
No,
we
I
would
mean,
still
I can't.
Change it from a class B back to a class A.
Just leave it as this and take off the enhancement. I'll take off both enhancements.
So, but leave the amount for 3,500.
No, I can't. Just do 3,000.
Just to do that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is Eric still here or no? I gotta call him. Okay, so we'll do the 3,000 instead of the 4,500.
Okay.
And then, what? Okay.
Well, again, Judge, I'm approaching on a case coming out of Court 6, Judge,
Sure.
if I may be heard on this.
Go for it. I need a cause number.
Yes, Judge. Cause number 2530393.
I'm green.
Yes, Judge. I'm approaching on bond conditions, Judge. On my client's first amended order for pretrial bond conditions, it's alleged that facts give rise to probable cause suggesting that alcohol was a factor in this offense. The state has no objection to this. There is nothing in the DIMS or the offense report that indicates any alcohol or anything of that sort.
Will you read the DIMS? Read it.
Yes, Judge. Do you want the full?
Was any mention of alcohol or drugs mentioned in this? Who did that? The magistrate?
Judge, I believe it was a visiting judge in court 6.
Can I get the call number?
Yes.
2530393. 2530393.
Is that, I think it's Sherman, Judge Ross? It looks like Judge Ross's signature.
Yeah, that's not a magistrate
He
signature.
just wants to remove the bond condition for no.
So what do you want?
I'd like for that condition to be lifted, Judge.
Which one?
The defendant must not use, possess, or consume alcohol. This includes any food, mouthwash, or over-the-counter medication containing alcohol, Judge.
How old is she?
She is 20 years old.
No, she can't drink anyways.
Judge,
No.
but it's not necessarily, well, one, she is 20, I believe she turns 21 in, I believe, June or July. She lives with her grandmother, and my understanding of Texas law is that she may drink an alcoholic beverage with her guardian present, which is her grandmother. Second, these bond conditions include food, mouthwash. Judge, I want my client to be able to use mouthwash without being in fear of violating her bond. And 3, there's no legs for this to even stand on. There's no probable cause that substantiates these bond conditions, and it doesn't ensure that she will appear in court. It's just overly burdensome. And again, there's no probable cause to even substantiate.
Okay, but no.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna leave it on. She's 20. I don't want her to drink. There's plenty of mouthwash out there that doesn't have alcohol in it that she should be able to use.
Yes, sir.
So it's not too onerous. It's not overly burdensome. It's, just she's 20. When she turns 21, come back and we can talk.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Judge.
Of course.
Happy New Year.
You too. Mr. Brooker.
Hey,
Great to see you, man.
Same here.
How are you? Yeah, you?
I had a good time too. Good. I'm here on Evan Nelson, Judge, and essentially just to ask you for more time. The state made an offer that we like. We are willing to accept it. One of the issues is that the property was taken as a result of a firearm, and the state at this point is requesting a forfeiture of that firearm, pending proof of its lineage and where it came from and all of that. He's waiting for an affidavit from the person he purchased the weapon
But
from.
that shouldn't hold up the case, though.
I understand, and that's why I'm just asking for some additional time to maybe a week or two, just for him to get the affidavit. I came before you last setting, asking for the same thing. He was unable to get it over the holidays. He's spoken to the person, communicated with him. It's just an affidavit that we'll show to the state. They'll decide yes or no, and we'll do the plea that day.
It's an affidavit to get the gun back or to get the case
demonstrate
dismissed?
his ownership in the lineage. It's a weapon that was owned by an individual that was in the military. It has some historical and family value to my client. He's willing to take the plea, but he doesn't want to lose the weapon because it was gifted to him. It has like all types of Texas.
It's not going to impact because they don't file either destructive orders or orders of this nature for years.
Part of the plea bargain agreement was forfeiture of the weapon. And that was the issue that.
I don't have to agree to that. You know?
It's the policy I was told that we were supposed to do for UCWs. But if you would like.
I'll hold on it, I won't rule on that. I won't do that, because there are plenty of people that they do want their guns back. Believe it or not, there's some guns from like 1862, 1752, 1600s, man. Watch Pawn.
Right.
My favorite shows is Pawn, dude, freaking amazing, God, I've learned so much about guns and I hate guns. But yeah, I'm with you.
Okay. So you would be opposed to granting that portion of the plea bargain and allowing us to do the plea?
Let's do the plea.
Okay.
Let's get it done. And then I'm not going to rule on the forfeiture of the weapon. I won't do anything of this. And then just that way, take your time.
Okay.
There's no rush. But at some point, they're going to file a motion to either destroy. And if he's not in time to get it, then the gun goes bye-bye.
And normally that happens at the end of the plea. This is, I think, our concern. If they agree to him being able to recover his weapon, then we wouldn't have to be concerned about what would happen later.
Well, I'm the one that grants it regardless. So even if they're opposed, I can still grant it regardless.
Sure.
And I've done that. I did that, 2 months ago. They were opposed, but I still granted it because they provided an affidavit.
Understood.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
For sure. John.
Hi, Jim.
Hey.
As I'm approaching you on Mr. Serato with a C, C-E-R.
Okay.
Judge, we just got some updated information from the state. They were finally able to get the RIP done. The chief is okay with the PTI, but she needs some litigation. This is all just came this morning because they were able to get, oh, I'm sorry, they were able to get a hold of that. So if you just give me a short time, I can get all that.
It's 190. I'll give you a couple weeks. He's got to have it all.
No, I got you, Judge. I mean, we would have, it's just,
It's okay. Don't worry about
You
it.
know.
I'll give you a couple weeks, but if he doesn't have it done, then
no worries. I mean, that's all I need. Okay, it should be okay.
What else?
Okay, that's it.
That it there? Okay.
Well, we're waiting for a Hunter, but just for the,
Are you ready? Hi. Good morning.
Good morning. I'm here approaching on Treadwell, Brianna Treadwell.
Treadwell, okay.
Homes here.
It's not old.
It's not, no, it's, but this is more so addressing the conditions that TRAS recommends.
Oh, she has 2 open DWIs.
Yes.
Right. What are they?
Went from September and then October.
So they probably want inpatient treatment? You know, and I'm going to tell you that Brianna Treadwell, come up.
This way, ma'am.
Hey, and I'm so glad that Mr. Butler, you're here because, come up. Every time, I mean, I can't be that conclusive, but so many times when we do a TRAS, because I have clinicians that interview people and make recommendations, so many times when I don't follow those conditions, I get burned. I had one today that recommended inpatient treatment on an individual. He now put 2 people in the hospital and picked up a 3rd DWI, a felony DWI, and he's sitting in custody at a $75,000 bond because I didn't follow the TRAS that recommended inpatient treatment. And now 2 people are in the hospital, with serious injuries because of it. Another gentleman here back there, we did a TRAS, I didn't follow it, picks up another DWI with another pending, and then just, the TRASs are there for a purpose. We have professionals, we have clinicians that interview and make a call what they think the best outcome is for a certain individual. Now, you have 2 open DWIs. And they take all these things into consideration, how to move forward with the case, because believe it or not, we want the best for you. We want you to leave better than you came here. And just so many times when I deviate from that TRAS, we end up getting burned. I can't tell you over and over and over. And that's the last thing that we want. What did it recommend? Yeah.
So, Your Honor, Ms. Treadwell, she has 2 young daughters. One of them special needs who requires occupational therapy and speech therapy. That happens once a week. The other one is middle school age. Ms. Treadwell, she was in custody for about a month and a half, I believe. And it was very difficult, extremely difficult for her family to even try to coordinate things with her daughters. And then as well to keep Miss Treadwell with her home. And so Miss Treadwell, she needs to work. She has bills, as everyone does, and all of these other circumstances with the children. At least looking at it from Ms. Treadwell's perspective, it seems impossible for her to go into treatment inpatient, and it's hard to see that other side. What does that other side look like for her? And so the kids were staying with her parents. Her mother just got surgery hip surgery and they broke her femur in doing so. So she's out of commission. Her brother was staying with her parents at the time. He is about to now move to Chicago as of next week. So they don't have the same system as they had in place while she was in custody. She was very much in custody based on, her parents believe that, this was an issue, just as, on its face, you're looking at it. It's definitely an issue. Is not to say that she has paid a price at all, but and her intention is to do what's needed. She has explored all of these options, well, with respect to even with the, is it Vivitrol or, okay, Vivitrol. She has explored options through access. So she has been making those steps. My belief is that she has, I don't want to say learned her lesson, but she has.
I don't believe it for a second.
Well,
I'm telling you, I mean, she has 2 open DWIs.
Mm-hmm.
And every time I deviate from the TRASs, we get burned. And now, just today, 2 people in the hospital because we deviated from the SATF and homeboy picked up a 3rd DWI.
Yeah, and I was made aware of that prior to us even approaching.
The last thing I want is for you, because the idea of Hue is that you are able to learn how to deal with the stresses and the stressors in your life so that alcohol, substances don't become a coping mechanism, right? And I don't know what to tell you, but I mean, actions have consequences. And I understand that, you have a lot of things in your life that are going on now. The only thing I can tell you is that your case is only 118 days old, so it's not too old. I will give you time, right? So that you can get everything in order, but I'm going to be very hard pressed to move away from the TRAS.
Understood.
Just we have time, right? So you have a couple months. I'm willing to give you a couple months to, get things in order, but you have 2 open DWIs. The last thing we want is you to go kill someone, end up with a felony charge, because I'm telling you, the next one, you're looking at 2 to 10 in the penitentiary. If you think Hue for a month and a half is bad, that you're gone, consider 10 years. That's the next. So there's nothing that needs to be done immediate at this point. We've got time. Time is on your side for now, but that time's going to run. And the other thing is this, is that from what I've learned being here, the longer you take to address, the worse things become. So we can reset at 30 days, okay? But at some point we have to address it, right? So just be ready, okay? How long is the Hue program?
The wait list for Hue is a week.
Okay, and then, but actual Hue, the actual program, how long is it when you're in? Wow, 6 months.
3 to 6 months.
So 3 if you're responsive?
And 6 months if it takes a little bit.
So be ready. I'm sorry, man, but you've got time. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. All right. Please. Hi, Sonia. They want, where's Saba? Miss Rosette. Rosette.
Me, Your Honor?
Oh, Rosette.
Yes, Judge.
She filed a motion for continuance on your trial case on Silas. And the reason is because their complaining witness is in custody with a parole hold. You know how long parole holds take? Months and months. So we would literally be resetting a case for an indeterminate amount of time. I think that's unreasonable for someone who's in custody.
I understand, Judge.
When are we set for?
Tuesday, Judge.
This Tuesday? What's your position? I normally, and I don't think I've ever denied a first, ever.
We
But-
understand, Judge. It's just our diligence too. We just need to ask.
I think I'm gonna deny it because it's just not fair to the
Understandable.
defendant, especially if the complaining witness is there. So, okay, yeah.
We understand.
Yeah, all right, I'm gonna deny.
Okay,
Okay.
we'll likely dismiss. I just need to, I'll email you.
Yeah, okay,
All right.
thanks, Roger.
Judge, and we totally understand.
James.
Judge, I have Norma Solano on your docket, and this is a PTI one, Judge, where she has the contract, she has the device. The last thing is, I've been talking to Brenda Gomez about waiving the $300 fee, and they wanted her to get an affidavit together stating that she does not pay any of the bills of her household, and so I got that from her boyfriend.
Got it.
So I was gonna submit that. Can I get 2 weeks, or do you want to give me a week?
No, a week.
A week, okay.
A week, because it's old.
And Judge, I have one more. I have Tristan Foster from yesterday's docket. He's bonded out, so I think, do you want him to come up and?
Please.
Mr. Foster, come on up.
So what time was he out on the felony case, Alex?
Felony case, Your Honor. Time.
Who's it next time?
Yes, you see a time. 2. One moment, Your Honor.
Mr. Foster, I'm now putting an ankle monitor on you and I'm giving you a curfew of 9 PM to 6 AM. You pick up a third case, I'm gonna light you up. Do you understand? You become a danger to my community, I only have one place for you. I will protect my community at all costs. Do you understand? If I find that you have a weapon, likewise, I will revoke this bond and I'm gonna go nuts.
It was at 8:50, Your Honor, PM, so.
No alcohol, no dope. I don't want you out in the middle of the night and no contact with your co-defendant in that case. Do you understand?
Say my co-defendant.
Correct. No contact. Do you understand? The person you were arrested with in the felony case. Take a seat for me. We'll be here with you momentarily.
Understand.
Judge, may I approach on the arraignment?
Is that it?
It's an arraignment from Court 6 on Luis Montero Gonzalez.
Do you need a translator?
She's here, Tony's here. Just saw. She just wants it, sir. Thanks. Yeah, she was just, I waved her there and everything. He's a no, I don't know if you want to know, a brief PC on or no accident, penalty.
Is it a DWI?
It is.
No, I need him to do PC, you know.
Stand down. Yeah, she was
Yeah,
just.
I guess stand down. I guess try to get a hold of her.
Yeah, I'll stand down.
Yeah.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. Martinez again, Your Honor. So I spoke to his wife. At the time, he wasn't working. I asked, why didn't you take an Uber? Explained to him, bail bondsman does not take priority over the curfew. Court's orders are number one. I believe it was a misunderstanding. He didn't have a job. Money was tight. I asked him, that's why he couldn't Uber. His wife is here. She does say that they went to the bail bondsman. That's even here. He called immediately. He understands what is
Let's do this.
expected of him.
Let's send him for a drug and alcohol test right now. And then I also want to pull up the rest of his records to see how else he's been as well.
And I'll send them over.
Okay, I want to send him for a drug and alcohol test right now, see if he's been behaving himself. And then what we'll do is I'm going to roll it tomorrow. He's got to be back tomorrow and we'll figure out the
Well, you
result.
mean
Because I don't think it'll be enough time for him to come.
Thursday
Or
or Friday
Thursday.
or whatever days.
Thursday.
It's all mixed together. Okay. So is he good to go?
No, we're gonna send him and then we'll get him back. And then.
He's working now, Your Honor. He got a job, started last Monday. And so he understands the curfew part today.
I'm not letting him off the hook yet. I want to know what the drug and alcohol test show.
Real quick, because apparently I had an approach again on Mr. Michael Trevor Maines. You had wanted him to bring proof of employment. That's a full-time job. I mean, he gave me his credentials. He works for concert shows. That's kind of what they give him. And he does get paid cash. It tells me his full-time job. Why are you laughing? This is a full-time job. And so it's a criminal trespass at a club. And so he goes and he works at shows, gigs, that's what he does.
Doing what?
I think he's a PA, personal assistant.
Is he working full-time?
I mean, that's his full-time job. That's my understanding. So sometimes for these, he has to travel.
You said Maines?
Trevor Maines. So if it's not under M, it might be under T. And there's no discovery in yet, so I'm waiting on that.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Thank you, Judge.
Carmel Robinson, you sent him for drug test and he came.
THC, Judge.
He came back positive for THC, but we already knew that.
Okay, so let him know he gets tested again in 45. You get tested again in 45 days. You pick up a new case, you start acting out of line, you're gonna stay with me. And I'm telling you, jail is not fun for a young one. Do you understand? Imagine your worst nightmare. It's worse. Okay, all right, Carl.
Judge, you gave him a curfew from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m.
Yeah.
I talked to him and he indicated it's not a problem. His parents apparently.
Where's mom?
She's not here. He's in the building somewhere, but they indicated that to the pretrial officer that might be a problem. So could we do?
Say it again?
They indicated to the pretrial officer that may be a problem. So I'm not sure why.
Okay, if you find mom, let me know and I'll talk to mom.
You work also? 6 a.m. 9 p.m. Fine. Shouldn't be a problem.
All right, man.
Have a seat,
man.
Have a seat. How are you?
I'm gonna go to 3. Hey, Vic, I'm gonna go to 3.
I have a question for you. Judge, I noticed you signed a BVR for Alejandro Martinez, and he's on docket for today for SFBF. Did you want to go with the recess that you have for?
No. I need to unsign it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. There's 2 of them, and here's another. So I'll just hold them. Yeah, just hold them. I'll let me sign. You can put on.
Don't get up, please. Don't. You don't have to.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm ready to roll.
He's on live. He's live.
Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Time served, 3 for 6.
3 for 6, got it. Nelson.
Evan Nelson.
I need my number. All right. Mr. Nelson, you were charged with unlawful carrying of a weapon. You guys have worked out an agreement. They're offering you 3 days in jail, credit for the 6 days that you've done. You need to understand this charge will go on your record. It's going to be there for the rest of your life. This could be used now to enhance your punishment. From now on, you are facing a minimum of 90 days in jail. You understand? You're looking at a boatload of time as a minimum. you're giving up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization. Under federal law, you give up the right to appeal. So once you plead guilty, you can never change this.
Yes, sir.
This is what you want to do.
Yes, sir.
How do you plead to the offense, sir?
Yes, sir.
I will find you guilty. I'm going to sentence you to it. I'll roll your court costs so you won't owe anything. As far as the weapon is concerned, I'm not going to put here to forfeit the weapon, but at some point, they're going to take it and they're going to make it into a manhole cover. They're not going to hold it forever. They got a property room and they only have so much room. So once you get in line for however long they're going to keep it, I have no idea. I've seen it. I think was it like 6 to 8 months? I've already had them giving us destructive orders. So if you're going to do it, I would get on it quick. All right.
Thank you,
Okay,
Judge.
guys. Good luck. You too. Thank you, Mr. Booker.
Mr. Nelson is the last of the young group that all went tested for the evading.
Come on up, Mr. Hunter.
I've actually already admonished and everything, Judge. He knows about.
So what did he test positive for, Felicia? No smoking weed.
Yes, sir.
Do not have anything that has weed in it. Do not hang out with people who are smoking. I don't care if you come in here and say, well, I was in a car and everybody else was smoking and that's how. Excuses go in this here and they go out that here.
Yes, sir.
Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Make yourself into something. Knowledge is power.
Yes, sir.
All right. Good luck.
About 45
See you.
days.
45 days. I'm going to test you again. Yeah. Dismiss
Dismiss
Ms.
Vessel.
Vessel.
And so these were her local cases. We're resolving it with time served, and she has a fugitive case.
You representing her on the fugitive?
Yes, Judge, and so she has a waiver on file, and so we're just trying to get the 14 days started.
All right. Good morning, Ms. Vessel. You're charged with failure to identify oneself as a fugitive from justice, so it elevates it to Class A, so you're facing up to a year in jail and a $4,000 fine. You guys have worked out an agreement. They're offering you 19 days credit for the 19 that you've done. You give up a lot of rights by entering this agreement. You give up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization. You give up the right to appeal. Once you plead guilty, you cannot change this. What was the mischief? Window, car, tire.
It looks like a windshield and a car radio.
So how do you plead to this offense? Guilty or not guilty? Well, if you're not guilty, then we set you for trial. Did you actually mischief?
I plead guilty.
No. This isn't a game, Ms. Vessel. If you're guilty, then you plead. If you're not guilty, then don't plead guilty. If you didn't break anything, then.
Plead guilty, sir.
Did you actually break something?
I plead guilty, sir. It's been so long, I don't even remember what happened. Honestly, it's been 3 years ago. I don't remember what happened.
Something's wrong.
It's from it's an offense dated January of 2022, Judge.
Oh, right. That's fine.
It was a bond forfeiture, Judge. Or actually, it was just as a 2B, in 2B status.
The argument started between her and the complaining witness while she was taking the defendant to a bus stop. During this argument, the defendant began to kick the vehicle radio with her left foot, causing it to break.
Yes, sir.
That's what this case is about.
Yes, sir.
Was it worth it?
Sir, no, sir, it was not.
I would say that probably 99% of the people who are in jail now, because no self-control. They get upset, they wig out, and they just unleash without thinking of consequence. That's why we have jails. If you get upset, you calm, cool, collective, and I bet you, had you just walked away and just, you know what? You probably would have made that person so mad because you act calm, cool, collective, and just, that's it. Be the better person. Just walk away. Because now you've been in jail here for 19 days, another 2 weeks now because you got this fugitive case over there. Self-control. So how do you plead to the offense? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
I'm gonna find you guilty. I will follow the agreement. As part, they're gonna dismiss that new case, right? The failure to ID?
The fugitive case.
All right.
I'm not about the failure to ID, fugitive from justice.
This vessel is self-control. All right, good luck.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Jim. It's not enhanced, is it?
There was an enhancement for.
Okay, abandoned. Okay, good. Hi. Yes.
Judge, I don't know if Dave's on the call or not.
They said he was gonna be gone, right?
Yeah, well, we have a prosecutor here, I guess. I just wanted to follow up on the 11:15 email.
I sent you the email?
Yeah.
Are you okay with 11:15?
Yeah, I just wanted to see how that's gonna work. So we check in, see if he's been picked up at 11:15. If
At
not,
11:15, I'm gonna have Stephen look up to see where he is, because it should reflect in the system that he's either out of jail or that he's still in either 701 or wherever he is now. And if he's still in, we work the process of a PR bond.
PR bond, that's the question the client asked me, PR, okay.
I will give a PR bond if they have not, because I'm not gonna do this again.
I'll confirm with them. I'll let them know what's going on. Thank you for that. And then we have a couple other on today's docket. Mr. Eric Tome,
With an,
TOM,
okay,
Eric Tome of
it's not old. Oh,
he picked up, he's got 2 D-dubs. No, I'm sorry.
No.
This gentleman is the
Yes.
gentleman that's in immigration custody. My apologies. The 2 D-dubs is
It's
a different case that we're gonna talk about.
It's a DWI.
so what would you like me to do?
Here's the follow-up on this, Judge. I was asked to figure out what's going on with him, if he's been deported or what's going on. My understanding is he's in immigration custody in Conroe. The family is coordinating representation for him out there.
How do you know he's in immigration custody?
I spoke with his niece last night.
Okay, that's not sufficient. We need to verify it. So there is a way to verify it where we can look him up on the system. And I can do it right now.
Here's an update with that. I reached out to Julie Pash. She's not back until the 2nd of January. And so she hasn't been able to give me a response on providing proof that he's over there, but.
We can do it now.
Okay.
Give me 2 seconds.
Sure,
Let me
sure.
see.
Let me look at my notes.
Let's. Are you leaving, Morgan?
We had a.
Leaving?
Oh, Bernadette asked for me, or the chief, so I'm gonna go downstairs.
Okay, good luck. If I don't see you, then have a happy new year. I'll see you next.
Page 6, bottom of page 6, party, that was the arrangement that.
Is he no show?
Here, party.
Come up. Are you, who are you? Are you, come on up. You can come too. Why on 2 different sides? You embarrassed to be with your mom? Oh, okay.
I separate
Got it.
family and spectators.
Okay. Good morning, Mr. Hardy. Mr. Hardy, you're charged with possession of marijuana. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. Shh. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you, sir.
Yes, Judge.
Okay.
On November 22nd, 2024, the officer observed the defendant's vehicle parked more than 18 inches from a curb on a public roadway in the right lane of a 2-lane, 2-way road in Harris County, Texas. While the officer ran the motor vehicle, the passenger side door opened, a black female exited, and the female approached the patrol vehicle. The officer made contact with the female and observed a strong odor of marijuana emanating from the female. The officer made contact with the defendant, the driver of the vehicle, and observed a strong odor of marijuana and had the defendant exit the motor vehicle. A PC search was conducted and the officer located 3.5 in the driver's side door and 1 blue package with Oops All Berry on the front containing green leafy substance on the rear driver's side floorboard, 1 red package with Fruity Pebbles on the front containing a green leafy substance in the back seat, and 2 clear plastic baggies containing green leafy substance under the front right passenger seat. The officer also observed 1 burnt marijuana cigar behind the front passenger seat and 1 small chunk of loose green leafy substance in between the driver's seat and the door. The green leafy substance was identified as marijuana based on training experience, and the weight was 54 grams or 1.9 ounces.
He was doing what that was wrong?
So he was parked more than 18 inches from the curb on the right lane of a 2-lane, 2-way road. So he was out.
On earth are you gonna know that you're parking more than 18 inches? What time of day or night was this?
Your Honor.
Is it parking while black now? Come on.
Yeah.
Your Honor, there's no time listed. It just says the officer was on patrol around the 3518 block of Arbor Glen Drive when he observed the vehicle parked more than 18 inches from the curb.
And so he goes up to the car because of that?
No, Your Honor, a female passenger side exited the passenger side and approached their vehicle, and he observed a marijuana.
Oh, but because he comes up to them. Right? Stop. Are you losing?
The officer wrote as he ran the vehicle, presumably the license plate.
Right, he pulls him over.
They were already parked on the side of the road 18 inches from the curb, and he came, I guess, parked behind, and he was running the vehicle, and then the passenger side door opened, a black female exited and approached his vehicle, the patrol vehicle, and he observed an odor of marijuana on the female, and then he made contact with the driver, where he observed marijuana odor in the vehicle. So the female approached the patrol vehicle.
Show me in the penal code that code. What is the penal code for that?
Regarding the 18 inches from the curb, sir, is that the
Yeah.
issue of what we're talking about?
Yeah, because they come to him because he comes to them. Right, they're just parked. He comes to them. It's got to be a transportation code, not penal code, you know?
And Your Honor, regarding the timeline of events, it does appear that when they were parked that distance away, which could be arguably further, I don't know what it looked like at that time, but the female passenger is the one who exited first, and that was before officers ever made contact with them. So I don't know if you were thinking that the officers approached them first, but I just wanted to clarify that she approached first.
What time of day or night was this?
Trying to see that, Your Honor, give me a second. Is it 4 in the morning?
And Your Honor, I
4 in the
found-
morning.
4:30 a.m.
And you can delineate at 4 in the morning that parking 18 inches from a curb.
And I found the regulation, the statute in the transportation code where it says you have to park within 18 inches.
At 4 in the morning, you can tell.
Your Honor, the officer was,
Yes, I don't think so. All right, I'm gonna find no probable cause.
yes,
All right.
Judge.
Guys, be careful, right? You know, they're always out there. Just be careful, do something with your life. Knowledge is power. Get into school, get an education, do something with your life. Life is hard as it is. And it only gets more difficult the older you get. All right? Okay, guys, please.
And we'll be sure to call the officer on this case to
Whatever you need.
understand why he did in fact pull them over for this amount of space.
Page 7, Hernandez. Arraignment, felt like he was in the hospital. Mom called yesterday and said he's in the coma. It's gotten worse. And Ramona.
We need proof though.
Yes, Ramona emailed me some proof.
Okay.
Mom sent her that he was in the hospital.
They've been calling, causing the judge to confirm that we have.
Did you send it to me? This is nothing. This is just someone writing a letter saying, hey, he's in the hospital. This is like not from like a hospital. This is someone just merely typing out, hey, I'm in the hospital.
Good morning, Judge.
Hi, Lori.
I need the state to attach me to a case. It's Williams, Gerald Williams, to check and see if we have a.
Is he in custody or on bond?
He's in custody. To check and see if we have a conflict.
What's the bar number?
2403-2244.
You're attached.
All right.
Okay, thanks.
Judge, you want to have a bail hearing on him?
We just got done with him, huh? Lori.
I guess so, Judge.
He just pled to a interference with the emergency request for assistance. Yeah, if you don't mind, I'm gonna bring him out. You got him?
Okay.
Williams, yes, sir.
Come on, bring him out, please.
Judge, what did you want me to do with Hernandez? I have Mom's phone number to ask her maybe she can send me something from the hospital.
Right.
She said she's there. She hasn't left.
Okay, I mean, but there's gotta be something that you can send that shows that he's been admitted.
Okay,
And
I'll
that,
call her and ask her Friday. Don't put it on for Friday.
hey, Kelsey, can you do me a favor, please? So we're talking about Vanegas.
Benitez?
But yeah, Vanegas.
Hernandez, page 7.
I'm sorry, Hernandez.
Hernandez? Which one?
Prado?
Hernandez Prado. This is a DWI first. Is there an accident? Is he in the hospital because of the accident, because of a DWI?
And there's no accident from this incident.
There's no accident in this one?
No, sir.
Pending proof from the hospital.
Let's do this. Appoint him a lawyer. Okay, and then we'll have the lawyer reach out and then we'll roll it, I guess, tomorrow. We'll have the lawyer reach out.
Thursday or?
Or yeah, Thursday, not tomorrow. Yeah.
Okay.
Good morning, Mr. Williams. Mr. Williams, you stand charged with the offense of terroristic threat of a family or household member. You are facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. I have a lawyer here that's representing you now. She's on Zoom. It's Ms. Gooch, so that you know you're not alone.
Yes, Judge. On December 29, 2024, the officer was dispatched to a disturbance involving a weapon at an apartment in Harris County, Texas. The officer made contact with the complainant. The complainant stated she and the defendant are in a dating relationship. She left the club with a witness and she received a call from the defendant asking where she was at. The defendant was upset because she was not at the apartment when he was there.
So hold on, don't look at his computer.
And the defendant was texting her that she better not be at the apartment, as that would be her best bet after he walked to the club and the complainant wasn't there. The complainant stated when she returned to the apartment, she observed the defendant walking towards the motor vehicle she was in, with a black metal object in his hand, banging on the window of the motor vehicle. The defendant told the complainant to get out of the motor vehicle or he was going to drag her ass out. The complainant felt threatened and called the officers. The defendant sent text messages to the complainant reading, "It's cool because whenever I catch you, I promise you on my life, bitch, I'm gonna show you. You can think I'm bullshitting. Let that bum ass have you. Y'all made for each other on my mama. So I'm telling you to stay where you at for real. But whenever you come here, bitch, you better have backup because I'm gonna go drag you, bitch."
Lori, I brought him out, and the reason I did was because my concern is that your bond is now set at $10,000. There's got to be a reason because nearly everybody now gets either a PR bond or a general order bond, and I'm curious and I wonder why they didn't give you a bond. So I'm going to read now what the magistrate said. I don't know what these acronyms are. It says FA:LLHC, race, caretaker for disabled mom, independent contractor, receives government benefits, indigent. Defendant allegedly had a black metal object in his hand and threatened to drag complaining witness girlfriend out of the vehicle before punching the car window. Defendant also allegedly sent text messages to witness stating that he would punch complaining witness, quote unquote, dead in her shit on his mama, unquote. Criminal history, interference with the request for emergency assistance, 8/24, same complaining witness, dismissed, assault of a family member, impeding breath, 2021, same complaining witness, and other criminal history. I find by clear and convincing evidence that there are no non-financial conditions of bond that will suffice to reasonably assure public safety for the following reasons. This defendant's numerous prior incarcerations and history of violence have not deterred this defendant from engaging in criminal conduct involving the same complaining witness. Bond conditions are not likely to be a deterrent, so a high bond is necessary in this case. This is why you were not given a PR bond. And don't say anything. I want you to talk to your lawyer before you say anything. I've got a bunch of DAs here. Everything you say, they're going to sit there and they're going to type it to use and prove guilt. So it's just best not to. My only problem, and I want you to understand that my only concern, Mr. Williams, is public safety. That's the only thing I care about in this life, right?
Well, we no longer have no dealings with each other. I already got my stuff packed.
Stop. You don't have to say anything. You don't have to justify. I just want you to know that
I understand.
I don't know if you're going to bond out, but if you do, I'm going to put a monitor on your ankle prior to your release, so I know where you are, and I don't want you to have any contact with this person.
There's no way I can get a PR bond.
There's a protective order that's been issued in this case. I would get to know it because if you violate this protective order, the state can file a violation of a protective order, and that is the capital murder misdemeanors. You pick up a VPO, we are really deep, you know what. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to have you put back. I'm going to have Lori reach out to you so you guys can talk, and then she can come back and tell me how we move forward. Okay? And then we'll go from there. Please.
All right, thank you, Judge.
Hold on, Lori, what number?
The normal court.
I'm gonna call her.
Do you know the number?
Yeah, I know the number.
I didn't send Lopez record. Oh, I wrote down the results. And even Greg was like, okay, I'll wait for the results.
I was also not in here whenever, but I did approach judge and ask for the conditions and everything.
Okay, it's not a big deal. I'm more concerned about Martinez.
Okay.
So it's fine. Just make sure no drugs, no alcohol, and this is 17-year-old, right? 18.
Yes, Judge. Lopez Rubio, 17.
Right. So let's do this. Just call him in at some point within the next couple weeks, and we'll test him.
Yes, Judge.
I gotta go. I'm gonna wet myself. I gotta go.
Oh,
You're right. This is Alex. All right, let's finish up. Ready?
Okay. Next is page 13, Patterson, that's for Raymond Phillips with Pierre first time.
2501.
All right, and Greg is gonna zoom on for Martinez.
He's here now. Yeah.
And then page 19, Williams. He's here. Did Will approach via Zoom? Did I miss something?
No.
Okay, I'll call her real quick.
Hey, Greg.
Hey, Judge.
What's the word?
Mr. Martinez is back.
Martinez.
So it's more presumptive for THC, benzodiazepines, and cocaine.
But I haven't done those, sir. Like, I haven't.
Sorry, Charlie. Goes with you. Sorry, Greg.
What was the third one, Judge?
Cocaine.
Oh, okay.
That's it.
What is the reset date, Your Honor?
He'll pop up on tomorrow's docket.
So Thursday or Friday, whatever.
So
it is.
yeah, he'll pop up on Thursday's docket. I'm gonna revoke the bonds. I don't know what they're set at now.
I'm in your court Thursday, so sounds good, Judge. I'll be there. All right,
Okay.
thanks.
Thanks, dude.
Yeah, have a happy New Year, Judge. Thank you.
You too. Hey, have a great New Year. Sorry, bud.
That's all right, bye.
For what it's, hey, Greg, for what it's
Yeah.
worth, for what it's worth, I was gonna let him slide, on the, but.
On the marijuana, yeah, I get it.
No,
I
no, no, no,
understand.
no, no, on the fact that he's going to a bonding company at 9 whatever, but you
gotcha.
testing positive for cocaine and benzos, forget about it. No way. Just.
Okay.
Okay. All right, bud, have a great New Year.
Okay, you too. Thanks, Judge. Bye-bye.
So Jill didn't answer.
Just candy. A piece of candy.
We're still pending a lot, but we'll make an offer soon. And this one just happened 2 days ago.
Okay, so nothing today?
Yes.
Can you zoom on, please?
All right, thank you.
Are you okay? No? I got your dude here in the jury box. Yeah. Yeah, take your time. Take your time. All right. Bye. She's gonna zoom on. You want a Starburst? One of these? Okay, one to everybody else.
Oh, so they still message.
He's still a baby.
Hey, who else? Let's.
Yes, he is. He's Julian Hawkins is his.
Okay, so we're just waiting on this.
He has a GPS monitor and it's dead. Am I right? Don't say anything.
No, so started on December 18th and returned on December 20th.
Is it currently operational?
I'm sorry.
Is it currently operational?
Let me double check.
If you can please check.
It's functional as of now, Judge. He reported to pretrial services. And I do see here that they said he was contacted by Sentinel's report as well. And I believe, according to these comments from the device inspections, that there were issues with the charger. And I see here that it was no true violation after inspection.
Oh, really?
So that's what I see.
Okay.
This morning says, and
Okay.
and I do believe it was the charger that was faulty, and he was provided with a new one.
See you on Thursday, Friday, maybe?
Okay.
When's your last day? Friday.
Hey, don't worry. It looks like it may have been a malfunctioning device.
Happy New Year, y'all.
Okay.
So, come up.
Was it a alcohol thing or?
No.
drugs?
So what, he has a GPS monitor and it looks like they lost cell service for a couple days. And then I think he goes back to pretrial and they're able to see that there may have been an issue with the battery.
The charger, like I
The
guess the
charger.
connection port, the only issue with those violations before is that we couldn't get in contact with him a few times to have him report earlier, because these were starting on the 18th and we tried contacting him a few times.
Okay, so you got to make sure that they have the correct number, because if they can't get a hold of you, they send me these bond violation reports and then that's why you're here now, right? So just maintain good contact with them. Make sure that the device is charged. If you ever have any issue, go back to them. They'll give you a new one. They'll fix it so that there are no issues. I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt now. Just please make sure that everything is on the up and up from now on. Okay? Your last name is George, what? I'm on. Okay, the case is only 104 days old, so we'll just give you a normal reset, Jillian, huh?
Okay, sounds good.
What say you?
For Williams?
Yeah,
I wonder if he had a date for this one, on Sunday.
the date previously was, yeah, 114. Do you want to keep 114 or do you want to do it out further, Jillian?
We can keep 114.
Okay, all right, we'll give you just another reset and then it'll be waived. I'll waive your appearance because it's not an old case, but just stay in touch with Jillian, okay? All right, please.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, thanks, Jillian. Take care.
You too.
Bye. Okay, we're done. All right, guys, have a wonderful new year. Be safe. See you next year. Have a wonderful one.
We'll take a whole year off.
Don't. We need you. What are y'all doing for New Year's? Anything good?
Just a dinner. What about you?
No, just kind of hanging out, same thing.
It's just not worth the risk.
Yeah, they're out in force. So if you go out there, you even have one, you get pulled over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just like the number of
Like to come in person?
crashes, I can't even imagine. Even if you're being good driving.
It's sad, isn't it?
It's hard.
You know, I was just now in court 3, and there was a case where it's a DWI, second, hits a horse with a kid on it, horse dies, kid in hospital.
What?
Yeah.
Where's that shit?
Hey, Judge,
I don't
we're bringing
remember
the
where, but
desserts out here.
you know what I mean?
Oh, how nice.
Oh, we have multiple.
Oh. Stop, no.
Doesn't want to stay, like it knows. So that's how old you are.
That's a good one.
Do you, this one's finished or can we?
I'm almost done.
You said that you had 5 kids.
No, if I had more money, I'd have more kids.
Yes.
All right, we're done. Let's go.